Welcome to the first of a two-part series on Northwest France, where the heart and soul of the country is found. We'll begin in the Ile-de-France and in the capital Paris with an exclusive tour to the city's most popular landmarks. Then on to Chartres to visit the region's most famous cathedral. We'll travel onward to the Loire Valley to explore its grand castles, private chateaux, and scenic countryside. Then continue our journey to the coast of Normandy to pay homage to the fallen heroes of war. And spend a night in the majestic medieval monastery of Mont Saint-Michel before heading back to Paris for a private tour of the hidden treasures of the elegant French capital. So joining me in northwestern France, I'm David Celdran, and this is Executive Class. I'm back in France, one of my favorite destinations of all time. The country, after all, has everything a traveler could ask for and would keep coming back for. Spectacular scenery, awesome architecture, irresistible gastronomy, and an intriguing, seductive culture. That's why I've made a pact to explore every corner of France, and for this visit, I'm rediscovering the northwest region of the country with Trafalgar, the world's leading operator of guided holidays in Europe. The northwestern side of France includes the country's capital, Paris, and the City of Light is where the journey across the region begins. Everyone dreams of coming to Paris, yes, but many are too intimidated to explore the city on their own. For first-timers especially, a guided holiday like Trafalgar's takes stress and guesswork out of your visit with a well-organized tour of the city in the hands of local experts and experienced travel directors. The more adventurous, however, will appreciate the free time provided in the itinerary. Paris is so huge, there's no way to see it all in a day, or two, or even a week. But you can catch some of its greatest hits in just a few hours, and all on your feet. The area from the Opera to the Tuileries is the most ideal for strolling. You can start at the magnificent Opera Garnier, built during the Second Empire of Napoleon III. It's come to symbolize the opulence of 19th century Paris. The quarter is as elegant today as it was after this part of Paris was reconstructed by Baron Haussmann to make way for grand boulevards, squares, townhouses, and yes, luxury shops. The area around the opera is where you'll find Paris's famous Grand Magasin, the luxurious multi-story department stores where tourists come to spend. Though the hidden covered arcades, the Galerie and Passage built in the 19th century are a more intimate and nostalgic way to shop. Shopping malls are a rarity in central Paris. Most are located on the fringes or the outskirts of the city. A shopping excursion to the outlet mall, La Vallée Village, can be organized by Trafalgar if you want, though posh Parisians still enjoy shopping at their favorite street-level boutiques. The most expensive hotels and flagship stores of luxury brands are found on the massive square Place Vendôme and along Rue Saint-Honoré, just across the Tuileries Garden. The sprawling neoclassical Jardin des Tuileries gets crowded on weekends and on holidays, but even then, there's always a spot to relax and enjoy the view of the symmetrical landscape and its splendid fountains. Majestic monuments are found on either end of the Tuileries. On the west, the glorious Place de la Concorde, and to the east, Napoleon Bonaparte's Arc de Triomphe de Carrousel that leads to yet another monumental building, the Grand Musée du Louvre. The Louvre, or as some locals say, the Louvre, is home to the world's largest and most famous museum. The current Renaissance-style building and modern glass pyramids were built over one of the original royal castles of Paris. From here, it's only a few steps to the Seine, Paris's iconic and the world's most feverishly romanticized river. In a recent episode on Paris, we showed you the unique experience and perspective one gets while taking a river cruise. But even just standing along the banks, the view of the Seine, the bridges, and the monuments lining the river is just as captivating. And one monument stands out in particular: the Eiffel Tower. Trafalgar's included VIP tour of the Eiffel Tower allows you to breeze through the kilometric lines at the ticket booth and at security. It could take hours just to get in, but only a few minutes with our special pass. That also means passing through a VIP entrance and up the view deck on a special lift. It only takes a few minutes to reach the observation deck on the second level, while others will have to climb over 600 steps. I won't bore you with the details about the tower's construction and history. Instead, I'll leave you with this: sweeping bird's eye views of the world's most beautiful city. We all know what a tower looks like, from any angle or any time of day. But this scene from the tower, and not off it, is unusual and magical in the soft mist that blankets the city. You'd think that with views like these, the Eiffel will be the city's most popular attraction. Yet, it's only third on a list that's topped by Disneyland in the suburbs of Paris. But this is the real thing, not a fantasy. And you'll never quite fathom how lovely Paris is unless you view her from this perspective. From this angle, you catch a glimpse of her 20 arrondissements, or districts, divided by the Seine into the right and the left banks of Paris. Up next, we bid au revoir to Paris and bonjour to the Loire. Our guided tour across the northwest of France takes us to the medieval cathedral town of Chartres and onwards to the Renaissance chateau of Chambord. Executive class returns with more treasures of France after the break.